Yo, 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 yo. I'm pulling up the chat real quick, and we can get rocking. Okay, here we go. We can get rocking. I'm just gonna retweet this. Pull up the chat. How's everyone doing? I'm just trying to find the chat, dude. This chat is so hard to pull up. Okay. What's up? What's up? New bets one. What's up, my guy? Let me get a trial. I can hook you up. I know I had that free trial for what was it? Till the Super Bowl. If you like that, I've sent it to over 1,000 people, but after 1,000 it cuts off. So I'm gonna have to run another one, probably sometime tonight, to get everyone else their free trial. You're the man. I liked for it, but didn't get a DM. Yeah, you might have just liked too late. I've sent out over 1,000, so anything over 1,000, it just stops sending. It's like a program. Let's pull up. I got 2 plays I'm playing today, or 4 plays, 2 slips I've already posted. I'm gonna pull these up. I played Alvarado. Wow, he moved 2, and the other play I played was Amen. Okay. So, let me share my screen. I need a trial for sure. Okay, I'm going to have another tweet tonight, so just make sure you like that one tonight. You just got to be one of the first 1,000 people to like it. Okay? If you're one of the first 1,000, you'll get the link. All right. So, you guys can see the prize pick screen now. Let me see what Alex is texting me. Oh, okay. If you go in the replies of this tweet, look in the replies, you'll see a free trial from the DubClub account. You can get a free 7 days. These are the 4 plays that I'm already on. I'll explain all of them to you, why I like them. I'll start off with the ones that haven't bumped yet, because you guys can go ahead and submit this. First is Keon Ellis, over 21.5 fantasy. Obviously, Fox is gone now. If we look up who they're going to have available tonight, they're not going to have Zach LaVine. They're not going to have Sissoko, the guys they just traded for. Let's go share this tab. So you can see there's no Zach LaVine. There's no City Sissoko. They're going to run a pretty tight rotation. Like, they're shorthanded. They're not going to go give Alex Len or Mason Jones or Doug McDermott 20 minutes. They're going to have 6 guys that are going to get quality minutes, maybe 7 with Trey Lyles. Probably 7 with Trey Lyles. But Keon Ellis is going to get a ton of run tonight. And if we can look at his stats on the year. Keon Ellis stats. Okay. So we can look at this year. In 21 minutes, he's averaging 17.9 fantasy per game. Okay? This isn't the only thing I look at, but I'm just this Keon Ellis line is really good. So I'm just going to show you a quick breakdown. If he averages 17.9 fantasy in 21.5 minutes, he averages 0.83 fantasy per minute. I just told you he's going to play at least 30 minutes tonight. Like, that is the bare minimum, unless it is some massive blowout, something funky, which it's a let me see what the spread is on the game. It's a 5-point spread. more often than not, a 5-point spread is not going to be a blowout. So if he's going to get around 30 minutes, that's a 25 fantasy line. Okay? And that's just based on his usage without Fox. I mean, with Fox. Obviously, he's going to have increased usage too without Fox because he's going to be running the two. You know, it's still Monk, still DeRozan, whatever, right? But I think he's going to play closer to 34 minutes, right? So if we do that math based on 34, that's a 28 fantasy line. If I was to set this line, I would set it at 26.5. I have no idea why it's 21.5. That's almost his season average. And he's going to get at least 10 more minutes, okay? So I love that Keon Ellis line. Absolutely love it. The other one, Walker Kessler, okay? Let me pull up some other stats for him. And if you want any, obviously if you guys want my plays, there's a free trial below this tweet from the DubClub account. Just click that. You can get it free 7 days. If you guys want my opinion on any plays you might have taken today, just let me know in the chat. And yeah, I mean, I can help you out. Okay, so let's talk about Walker Kessler. I played 30.5 fantasy, but for the demonstration of this, obviously this website does not have fantasy. We are just going to be looking at PRA. If he covers 21.5 PRA, he is almost certainly going to cover the 30 fantasy line. So, first of all, his line was 21.5, which he's covered in 70% of games this year. But when you look at, like, you know, let's up the minutes, because he's got like a little 20-minute, 18-minute game in here. Let's up the minutes to, let's say, 24. I think it's a very safe floor. We're looking at almost 80% hit rate, and he's averaging 31 PRA in those games. Okay? Now let's look at the Pacers matchup. Okay. Pacers matchup. Points in the paint allowed per game. The Pacers have notoriously been a rim funnel. What that means is they try to limit threes. They'll give you the twos. They want, like, their defense sets up to where they're trying to get everything to the rim. Okay? They don't want to lose by the three ball. What that leads to is they're 5th this year in points allowed in the paint. If you know anything about Walker Kessler, dude literally can only score in the paint. He can maybe hit a little midi jumper, like on the elbow, but no. Like, no. Not, like, everything he scores is in the paint. Now let's look at he sets a lot of pick and rolls. Let me look up team defense pick and roll for you. Okay, here's the big thing. Let's share this tab. You can see here, pick and roll defense, right? Let me go to defense. Okay, pick and roll defense, roll man, because that's who we care about. That's Walker Kessler. The Pacers give up 8 points a game, which is near the top of the league in that. The big thing, though, is points per, like, every time it's ran, points per possession, 1.18. They are the 4th worst defense at defending the pick and roll just based on how often they defend it. Okay? So, good matchup for points in the paint. Incredible hit rate this year. And he should be getting tons of minutes now. And then, great matchup, pick and roll defense, bad paint defense, everything you want to see, right? Let's go to... Let me pull something else up real quick. Okay. The other big thing, maybe the biggest thing why I like this play is, let me go back to the Riverside thing, is Drew Eubanks, the backup 5, is gone. They traded him to the Clippers. Last game, he got 34 minutes. Let me share this tab. Last game, he got 34 minutes. I haven't looked at his stats without Drew Eubanks this year. I don't even know if you can do that anymore since he's gone. You can't. But let's say instead of going to 24, without Drew Eubanks, he should be getting probably closer to 30 minutes. 30 minutes, 93% hit rate, 31.8 average. So we have an incredible hit rate without, there's no Drew Eubanks, so he should get a huge baseline of minutes. Great paint, or terrible paint defense, terrible pick and roll defense. Obviously, Kessler plays pick and roll, plays in the paint a lot. You can actually look at, let's go, play type, pick and roll, roll man. Okay. So, let me find this real quick. Okay, this isn't going to work because it's just showing a bunch of guards that like have 5 pick and rolls. But yeah, so I'll go back to the prize pick screen now. Love the Keon Ellis line because there's a ton of value on this board, I think, because of the trades. But love the Keon Ellis line, right? Sacramento gone, or De'Aaron Fox gone, should have a huge baseline of minutes. 21.5 is just above his season average. It makes no sense for him to be 21.5, okay? Next one, Walker Kessler. There's no Drew Eubanks. He's got an amazing matchup. And I just saw that Miles Turner got listed questionable. That's even better if he's being guarded by Thomas Bryant. Thomas Bryant couldn't guard me. I mean, he probably could, but whatever. Great matchup again. Incredible hit rate. Next one, I had Jose Alvarado at 17.5, okay? Obviously, he's 19.5 now. But let's go to this. I got 17.5. 19.5 I'd probably say is closer to the right line, unfortunately. But I did post it for free last night. If you didn't get it, there's a good reason why you need to turn notifications on. But let's go when playing. Let's look at his last 20 games when playing 24 plus minutes. 22 plus minutes. Okay. Let me share this tab. Okay. We're looking at Jose Alvarado. Like I said, I got 17.5 PRA. 19.5 it's a bit steep. I still would consider playing it. But obviously I got 17.5 last night. I posted it for free on my Twitter. If you're not following me on Twitter, turn on my post notifications. I post stuff for free all the time. But in games with 22 plus minutes, he's covered in 70% of them, averaging 28.8 PRA. Okay? Well, see, why is he going to get 24 plus minutes tonight? 22 plus minutes. DeJounte Murray, torn ACL, done for the year. Or torn Achilles, sorry. Done for the year. Jose Alvarado is now the starting guard on the New Orleans Pelicans. Okay? He is their starting point guard. There's no Brandon Ingram. There's no Herb Jones. There's no DeJounte Murray. They're super thin. Hawkins and Tice are questionable. Tice don't really matter to me. But Jose Alvarado should get a pretty solid run. I would say probably around 28 minutes is my guess. It could blow out, which may bump it down to like 26 to 10.5 point spread. But you can see here, if we go to RotoWire, you can see 10.5 spread. No Brandon Ingram, no Herb Jones. They don't even have DeJounte Murray listed out because he's done for the year. But they have Jose Alvarado playing 32 minutes, okay? I'd say that would be like my highest number I would guesstimate. I'd say it's closer to like 28. But good thing is Jose Alvarado is really good on defense. They need his defense versus Jamal Murray. If they were playing a guard like Tyus Jones, maybe Hawkins could get more run. Or like an Aaron Holiday. Holy shit, this lineup is terrible. But yeah, he should get a good amount of run. You can see when he gets a good amount of run, he's hitting this at an insane rate. I'll go back to this tab. 22 plus minutes. If we start talking about like 28 plus, like I'm saying, we can look at 27. In his last 20 games, he's covered in 70% of them. Last 30, he's covered in 70%. This year, he's covered in 7 out of 8 games when playing 27 plus minutes. So, I mean, the game he had 32 and 12, he probably shot the ball terrible, if I had to guess. 2 for 6, so that was his lowest field goal attempts in a game with that sample. So I really like the Jose Alvarado 17.5 line. 19.5 is a bit steep. And the last one is a system play. If you've been betting NBA all this year, you might know about it. It's Amen Thompson. Well, I mean, the play is Amen Thompson, but the system is power forward, like forward rebounds versus the Knicks. Okay? This has been a thing for a while now. You took advantage of it a lot last year with Embiid and the Sixers. You can do the same thing this year with the Knicks. Obviously, Embiid's like retired, so he never plays. But it's when you have a very dominant, high-usage center who plays on the outside, you have to have forwards rebound. Because Sengun's going to be at the top of the key guarding Cat. Cat loves to shoot that top of the key three. Sengun's going to be up there having to guard that. So it's been a system all year where you just take a power forward rebounds versus the Knicks. And then obviously, Amen Thompson is literally insane at rebounding. He is a stat stuffer. And now he's playing massive minutes. If we look at his sample size when playing 30 plus minutes, which he's playing more than 30 tonight, I can guarantee that. But, okay, so we got some chat messages on YouTube. I'll check these out real quick. Yo, Zeke, I need one prop for underdog. I'll look at it, okay? What do I think about Valanciunas under 27.5 PRA? I do not like that. Not versus Charlotte, no. Charlotte might be a little bit better versus centers now that they have Mark Williams playing a lot, but I don't even know if Mark Williams is playing today, actually. Let me see. He might be out. No, he's playing. I don't really like it, so I'm fading. But, Antonio, I'll get you a prop on underdog. Okay, give me a second. Let me finish talking about this last one. Amen Thompson, over 8.5 rebounds. You can see when he plays, let's look at his last 30 games, better sample. 30 games, 8.5, he's covered in 70% of them. Okay? Ridiculous. Very, very good. In that sample size, he's averaging 10.4 rebounds. Okay? Now, for being honest, he's probably going to play close to 40. Right? So let's bump this up to 35, see what it looks like, because he's been playing ridiculous minutes lately. 35 minutes, he's covering 75% of them, averaging 11.3. Okay? If we look at let's look at his minutes in his last 10. 40, 38, 41, 41, 40, 40, 40, right? Like, incredible minutes played. And it is because he's got the coach that maybe cares the least amount about playing people. He did this in Boston, Ime Udoka. He will literally run his starters in the dirt. Tatum and Brown played so many minutes the year that he was coaching them. Al Horford was out there playing like 40 minutes a night, and he's 50. He does not care. He'll run you in the dirt, which obviously works good. He's probably going to win Coach of the Year this year. He won it in Boston, or he almost did. I don't remember. But good matchup versus the Knicks because Cat's going to pull out every single center. And then when he's playing, 34 plus minutes, which I think is a pretty safe baseline, we're talking about 73% of games, averaging 11, okay? Versus the Knicks, he played them once this year. Well, that might be with that sample size. He had 13 against them, literally. That was last year, sorry. Last year. I'm still thinking it's 2024. Had 13 against them last year. Let me see if I can back down his minutes just to see all his games. Okay, so that 10 one I'm just going to knock out. He had 9 versus them in November this year. He only played 33 minutes. I want to see his rebound chances that game. Yeah, I mean, he had 19 rebound chances that game, only converted 9. That's pretty low. You can see the other time he had 19, he converted 13. But if you're getting 19 rebound chances, your line should not be 8.5, okay? So those were my 4 picks that I posted. I'll share my Twitter real quick just so you guys can see them. If you're not following me yet on Twitter, you're following the DubClub account. You're just now meeting me. My name's Zeke. I'm heavily positive V. Everything I do is mathematically and analytically based. Um, you can see I have this. It was I posted this at 1:40 Eastern, so like what is that, like 11 West Coast. But it was Jose Alvarado more than 17 and a half, and Eamon Thompson more than 8.5 rebounds. This is on Prize Picks, Better, Underdog. It was on every single app. You could also get these on Fliff, every book basically. And then I just posted this one. Um, Keon Ellis, which I just talked about, and then Walker Kessler. Okay, really like these two. Let me respond to some people. And again, if you guys want to ask me about a play, ask me. I see someone just asked in the chat. They said, so Eamon Thompson over points, rebounds is a play here, right? Or rebounds and assists. I would play, I think his rebounds and assists is 13 and a half now. Rebounds is 9. Let me look on unabated, see which one looks like better value. Let me share this tab. So this is just an odd screen. There's 1,000 of them. Some of them are free. Some of them are paid. It just helps me look at the market. So Eamon Thompson, 13 and a half. It's about even across the market. So that's fine. I wonder what his rebounds are. So rebounds is 8.5 massively juiced or 9.5 plus money. New bets. If you can get on a flip where you can do like a Eamon Thompson over 8.5 rebounds with Thunder money line, since they're sitting everyone but Dame or something like that, and dejuice it. I really like that. If you're only on Prize Picks, you can take 13.5 RA. I still think that's fine, but it was 12.5 last night, so like part of me is just saying you should have got that earlier. Do I have Dabble? I do. I got banned on Dabble like 4 times, so I never use it. But Dabble's a great app to have. There's so many good lines on there. They like don't move anything. Again, if you're just now following the DubClub account, you're just not checking me out, you can let me share this tab. Hit me with a follow, turn on my post notifications. You can see I post free stuff all the time. NBA, golf, right now obviously. NFL is like kind of what I became known for was the correlation slips like this. This is a golf correlation slip, but where I'm taking everyone to play good. This is at Kapalua. Everyone to play good. Basically, what this is when the course plays easy, a lot of golfers finish in the same direction, meaning they all go under, they all go over. Well, I thought the course would play pretty easy, so I played Cantlay M and then Brazaden Hote under strokes, all cash. You can see that. I mean, it was like the most sweat-free slip ever. And then this Jamar Chase one again, stupid sweat. This was one of the most sweat-free 4 legs I've ever hit, and I posted this one for free. As you can see, 1 million views. Wow, I didn't even know it had that. But Jamar Chase, I mean, he had a touchdown in the second quarter. He had 19 something fantasy at halftime. It was so free. But correlation is really what I'm known for. You can see this is this is a correlation slip where I'm taking DTR and Jerry Jeudy both under yards. They're very correlated. If DTR throws for less than 192.5 yards, Jerry Jeudy's probably going under the 61.5 line. And then I have 2 fiddlers right here. Chuba Hubbard versus Arizona. He soared 33 fantasy. And then Kenneth Walker was actually a massive sweat. He only had like 30 rush yards, but he had like 7 catches. Got injured on the last drive, so that was awesome. You can see I do NBA. On the DubClub tweet, let me go to this. On the DubClub tweet, you can see, here's my free trial if you guys are wanting to check me out for free. Now, I'm going to look at the chat, see if anyone has any questions. Halliburton over 8.5 assists. I hate betting on Tyrese Halliburton. I don't think I bet on him once this year. Let me see. And then someone wants a prop on underdog. I can look for them. Halliburton over 8.5 assists is not something I'm really looking to play. And maybe if it was like plus money, which I know it's not, so that's doesn't really help you. What's my favorite Super Bowl player prop? I haven't really dug into the Super Bowl board yet. I was actually going to do it after the stream today. You know, I'm sure they have fantasy up. That's really where I like to hit Prize Picks. You could probably tell by these two. A lot of stuff I post. I'll explain that why in a second. But okay, so they do have fantasy up. I'll be looking at that board today. But the reason why I love hitting the Prize Picks fantasy board is because when you look at Jose Alvarado, okay, this prop right here is on FanDuel, DraftKings, Pinnacle, Bookmaker, Underdog, Sleeper, Fliff, BetMGM, Caesars. It's on every book. What is that? What am I trying to say? There's so many markets, so many teams of lines makers that are agreeing the line should be 19.5. So I'm having to beat all of these teams of bookmakers, lines makers, traders, everything to win a prop, which is obviously possible. I do it all the time. But what's easier is when they come out and make this Keon Ellis fantasy scoreline, like they are competing versus themselves. No one else is making a fantasy line. So I'm basically just taking Prize Picks one-on-one. Instead of trying to beat the whole market, I'm trying to beat one team. And I know I can beat the Prize Picks team because they're a bunch of idiots. So I love taking advantage of fantasy. Any recommendations for where to get golf data? Yeah, there's a bunch of websites. Depends what data you really want. You could do the PGA Tour website. They have a ton of stats. Like, they're really good about having all these stats. You can see, you can look at strokes gained as like the most important stat in the world. So strokes gained, I don't want to do total, I want to do tee to green. But basically, I'm sure that tells you what this is. The per round average of the number of strokes a player was better or worse than the field average on the same course and event. So if you go out there and shoot, this is a per example, right? Rory shot 21 under. That doesn't mean, I'm not sharing my tab, I'm sorry. I'm not sharing, or Rory's not gaining 21 strokes that tournament. Yes, he shot 21 under, but what was the field average? How much better did he do than the average PGA Tour player on that course? That is what matters. That is how you become a good bettor, and really good at golf is there's two things you need to figure out in golf. It's so simple, which, I mean, when you break it down like this, it is. Obviously, it's harder. But there's two variables in golf betting. You need to figure them both out. One is, what is the field average going to be that day? The second is, how much better is that player than the field average, or how much worse? So if I think the field average is 71, and I think Rory McIlroy gains a stroke and a half per round. Let's just go 2, just to make the math simple. Okay? I think the field average is going to be 71. Rory McIlroy, on average, gains 2 strokes to the field. Rory McIlroy should shoot a 69 at this course, more often than not. Okay? Yes, he can go out there and go nuclear and shoot a 63. Yes, he can play like shit and shoot a 73. But on average, he's going to shoot a 69. Now, the hard part is finding out what the field average is going to be, because there's wind. You don't know how much how much water the course has. The greens, are they going to be spinning? Are they going to stop? Are they going to be soft, fast, quick, whatever, right? That's obviously a lot harder than it sounds, but those are the only 2 variables in golf betting. What's the field average? How much better is the field going to play? It is so simple. So you can look on here and look at strokes gained total. You can see on average, Rory is gaining 3.4 strokes to the field, which this is only one tournament, right? He's not going to gain that much the whole year, because that's an insane amount to gain, right? But you could look at last year. See, Scotty, in like his legendary year, only beat the field by 2.4. Okay? So if, let's say they're playing at a par 72, and the field average is even par. The average PGA player will go out there and shoot a 72 is what that means. Scotty would be 2.496 better. What is that? 72 minus 2.496? 69.5. That is what Scotty's projection would be. Okay? Now, there is a couple more like tiny variables that I do look at, but I don't want to really like go too much into. But it's like course fit, trend. Like Rory McIlroy just had a really good round, so he's probably going to beat this 1.4 average next round because he's trending well. And then maybe he might be a good or a bad course fit, right? which he wasn't really a good course fit at Pebble, but he won because he's Rory McIlroy. But course fits, right? You don't want to take you don't want to take Colin Morikawa at a course at 7,500 yards because that's just not his game. He does not hit the ball far. He is more accurate, hits his fairways. So another example is Brian Harmon, Aaron Rai, right? The opposite is Wyndham Clark. You don't want to go take Wyndham Clark at a course at 6,400 yards, right? I think like a good example is Harbour Town. You don't want to take Wyndham Clark at Harbour Town, right? If I'm remembering correctly that this is the right course. But Harbour Town's super tight fairways, super small greens. You need to be really accurate off the tee. You don't need to hit the ball 340 every time. But Wyndham Clark, he hits the ball 340. That is his game. So when you're having to be molded to the course fit, it does bring your averages down because you're a worse golfer at that fit, whatever it may be, right? So PGA Tour has a bunch of data. There's a couple other websites, but in terms of free, PGA Tour. Someone needs a prop on underdog. Let's look through the underdog board real quick. We can maybe get a streak going, honestly. Again, if you have any questions, I know I just rambled about that golf one forever, but I love talking about golf. Why is it already PGA? Oh, it's just this stuff. Well, first, I want to see what Keon Ellis is. Does he have a fantasy score? 14.5 at 104 is pretty solid. I mean, I like that. Let's look at Kessler. Does he have a fantasy score? Do they have any fantasy scores? They do. Okay. Holy cow, bro. Mark Williams would glow up is crazy. 44.5. That is insane. I'm going to look through a couple of these real quick. That is insane that he's that high. And it's right. I'm not saying like I need to take the under. I'm just saying that's crazy. Okay, I already found one score I like. I gotta see if anyone's out in that game though. Okay, that's a good one. Okay, let me see if anyone's out in this Detroit game. Jane Ivey is. Capella's out. Bogdanovich is out. Zeller's out. Okay. Okongwu's actually been terrible this year on defense, but again, ask me questions while I'm looking through this. Love helping out. Bro, Jokic is so good. 65 fantasy as your line. That's wild. Ayton plays Phoenix tonight. Wow. That should be a good game. Like, just to see if he's trying to shit on them or not. Okay. The guy that asked for an underdog prop. There are a couple good ones, actually. Is anyone out in the Knicks game before I play that? Knicks. Josh Hart is questionable. OG's out. So that's why it's good, is because Precious is going to play. It's going to hurt Hart's rebounding. 36.4. Okay, 36.4. I mean, that's fine. This score is really good, though. I really like that score. I'm going to see if there's something I can find to pair with that. But that's very strong. I'm going to look at TGO real quick. Who does Justin Rose play? Under 34 PRA for Steph. I like that, yeah. Justin Rose gets Scott, Rory, Morikawa, Bradley, Fleetwood. Okay. And that's tomorrow at 9. I don't know why they like do Monday and Tuesday nights sometimes. Wish they did the same thing. So Rose gets Scott, Rory gets Morikawa. What is... Okay, so like I said, this is just Underdog being dumb. But Rory gets Morikawa. How this works is they play 2 holes against each other, and that's it. Obviously, you can tie. Tie is the most probable outcome. But Rory, to lose a hole, is 1.12x, which means Morikawa has to win that hole. So I can get Morikawa to win at 1.21x, or I can get it at 0.9. So one of these has to be wrong, because that's just how it goes. I wonder if you could... I haven't even thought about this. Oh, it'd be this way. That. I wonder if you could pair that. That'd be crazy if you compare that. I might have just found something crazy. Okay, I just found something wild. Interesting. I'm not tripping, right? Rory gets Morikawa. Oh, Rory gets Fleetwood. Thank God I didn't post that yet. Huh. I swear I read that wrong. Rory gets Fleetwood. Scott gets Morikawa. Bradley gets Rose. Okay. So Bradley gets Rose. That should be good. Okay. Oh, did Jalen? Oh, I might have took it out of the slip. Okay. Whew. I almost just posted that. I think this Jalen Duran score is really good for the guy that asked for an underdog prop. Let's go. What is it? Monk over 10.5 rebounds and assists. Not sure. Give me a second to look. Monk RA. I don't really like that. No. I'm not playing that. I think what I'm gonna play is this Misi line, but I know I already have Alvarado, and I hate taking 2 props in the same game, especially one with a blowout as big as this one. Let me look for a pair for this. It's 49. Okay, so they don't have pool up. I like this Duran square a lot, but the pair, nothing's sticking out to me yet. They don't have Jordan Poole up. Nothing in that game. Amen is probably bumped. 8.5 is that. I don't want to play that. I think unders could be decent. Man, what's the pair? That's the question. That is the question. Again, Alvarado's bumped massively. One new message in chat. I appreciate that. I got you, Antonio. I could look at this, but like a Sanjay. Let me look at this board real quick. Let's see what else is a regular line. Those are the only ones I really like touching. That's literally the only non-multiplier line. Very serious. Okay. And they're giving me one non-regular line. Scotty worst in top 5 is plus money. I don't know. I already answered that about the Steph Curry. I do think this Hart under is pretty good. That. Dude, Josh Hart versus Amen Thompson is going to be incredibly funny to watch, by the way. Because they both play the same, like, annoying-ass way. Where it's just like hustle. Hustle, hustle, hustle. Okay. Nothing's standing out to pair with this Durant square to me. I might find something later. I might post it on Twitter. Because it would be nice to start a streak with something like that. I'll check the college basketball board. See if we got anything special here. That stands out to me. Let me look at a couple things. That looks good to me. Let's go. Again, I'm trying to find a pair for this Duran play. I think that Duran play is very strong for a pair. I'm kind of looking around. A lot of the stuff I took earlier it has bumped. So you're kind of just getting to see the process of what it looks like when I try to find a play. At least a pair. Because I do very much like this Duran line. The other thing that looks decent is Hunter Dickinson assist. Okay, that might be the wave. That might be the wave. Alright, I'm going to play this. I'm going to do Hunter over 1.5 assists. Duran. That might be my streak instead of doing a 3-leg. That's what I'm going to do. Is I'm going to go... Look, you guys are getting my ladder challenge early. Pays to be in the stream. I'm going to go Duran under 36.5 fantasy. And then Hunter Dickinson over 1.5 assist. That's going to be the 2-leg I'm going with. I wonder what his RA is actually before I post this. Let me just check his RA. If it's like, I mean, 9.5 is very good. I would imagine it's 10.5 or 11. I don't want NBA. 9.5, but it is juice. Damn. Okay. I'm gonna rock with let me see if it's on Prize Picks first. Oh, it is. It's 9.5 on Prize Picks, even line. What is Duran fantasy on Prize Picks? 36 flat. I mean, that's still good. I like this Hunter Dickinson line. I'm gonna sit on that one. The Jalen Duran one, I'm gonna sit on too. I know we just like beat around the bush forever, and I'm not playing anything. I do really think this is good. I don't know what the pair is gonna be yet. Stream's about to end. My boy Dead Prez is gonna be tuning in here soon. If you guys have any final questions, Shay 35.5 line, holy cow. Yeah, I mean, he's so insane. Duran fantasy, a good play for streak. Yeah, I'd use it if I wasn't super far in my streak. If I'm like day 4 max, I'd use it. I don't think it's great. I think it's great. I'm saying for your streak, I try to do stuff with a little more value. Again, if you're not following me on Twitter yet, go ahead and follow me, turn on my notifications. And you can get, I posted this before I came on stream. This was from last night. You can get all this stuff I play free. If I have some for Duran, I'll probably post it. Oh, I just realized I'm not sharing my screen. I'll probably post it if I have anything. Dead Press should be coming in soon. And he'll take over. But if you guys have any questions about a play before we wrap this up, let me know. Okay? I do think the Duran line is really good. I'm just I don't know what my pair is going to be. I don't have an opinion on the shade line for the guy that asked. For 35.5, I don't have an opinion on that. I mean, he's Shea. Not much I can say. How do the Braves have a 90% playoff chance? How are we higher than Philly? What? What? That don't make no sense. Shapes. 30. Yep, I answered those. Dead press should be popping in. Free trials below this tweet. I have the Keon Ellis and Walker Kessler play are my favorite plays today. Um, is Eamon Thompson 25.5 PR okay? I would just take something that involves rebounds or rebounds and assists. I wouldn't dabble his points. Because I don't have a read on his points. The whole read is he's going to have a really good rebounding game. That's the entire basis. Got you, King. I'll change it right now. All right, good luck, my guy. Good luck. Apparently, crypto is back. Anybody here invest in crypto? Invest in stocks? I want to know. Quick question. So if you don't have Prize Picks, what do you recommend to replace fantasy scores? Usually just PRA, but that's usually all I do. Wow, it did dip down to Bitcoin dipped down to 90, like 96K. Who here invests in crypto stocks? I want to know. I don't do any stocks, but I do have some money in Bitcoin, and it's just from withdrawing from gambling sites. And I own nothing but Bitcoin. I have a little bit of Ethereum, but my guy that runs the stream, his name's Alex. He's a goat. He said he's a crypto degen or money sign link. Money sign link. I've never even heard of that. Money sign link. There's so many. I'm not even talking about like the meme stuff, but there's like so many cryptos. I just can't keep up. That's why I throw it all in Bitcoin. But everyone says like you're not gonna get like insane returns on Bitcoin because it's very close to the top apparently. We got no crypto heads in here. Are we serious? No crypto heads. It's kind of crazy. There's got to be someone in here. Gotta be. This little crypto degenerate. Uh, I answered the question about fantasy score. I just play PRA almost every time. Like Keon Ellis 14.5. Kessler's a weird one. Because he's up to 20, like 23.5 in most places, which is probably closer to like a 32.5 line. So Kessler's probably a little bit worse. Ellis at 14.5 is pretty good. I'm pretty sure you can get 14.5 at close to plus money. So I really like that. But yeah, I mean Kessler, it's kind of just like, are you a stocks guy or not? Which I know we're talking about like literal stocks, but I mean steals plus blocks. Like Walker Kessler is a stats deep chef when it comes to the defensive stats. So if he gets like 5 stocks tonight for 15 fantasy, he can still cover pretty easily without covering his PRA line. But Keon Ellis, it's probably a both hit or none hit kind of deal. Kessler at 30 versus 23 is a pretty big difference. Like I would expect Walker Kessler to have a fantasy score line around 9 to 10 higher than his PRA, and it's only 7. Which I mean, obviously, that's why I think the fantasy score line is good, but it's just how it goes sometimes. That boy Dead Pro's running late. He just texted me. Or he texted me earlier, actually. I see it now. I wish I could find a pair for that Jalen square, but man, I think the Hunter Dickinson square is pretty solid. I want to see what it is on books. Because I might be playing that. Okay, so it's only up on Prize Picks. Wow. Dead Pros just texted me. Ain't even talking about if he's coming or not. I do want to find a pair. Okay, so here's the issue. I got 2 plays on separate apps. I do think that the Diggins or this let me share this tab up. Riverside. Okay, I do think this Durant square is good, but then I also think that this square is good. The Dick. I also think that square is good. So it's gonna be a mixture of finding what I want to do. I mean, I do think that this line's good, which you could play on underdog. I just am feeling the RA a little bit harder. Maybe I just end up posting assist. We'll figure it out. Dude, I don't even know how when did Hunter Dickinson come into the NCAA? I feel like he has been in college forever. So this is his 5th year. Okay, that's actually not that long, honestly. He's just been good for so long. You know? That's the real thing. Is like he's just been talented forever. Which he's never going to be good in the NBA. I did not know he was 7'2", by the way. But he's never going to be that good in the NBA. But like when you're this good for this long, it's the same thing with Hunter Renfrow. Hunter Renfrow only played for like 5 years, I'm pretty sure. But everyone's like, dude, it feels like he played forever. And it's just because he was so good. Or he only played 4 years. He was just so, like, he was there forever, it felt like, because he was good his freshman year. Renfro's Clemson career, the stuff of legends. Dude, he went over 600 yards once. Like, are you serious? I want to look at, oh, y'all can't even see the screen I'm looking at. Oopsie. He never even went over 600 yards, and they're saying career, the stuff of legends. I want to see, where is, Hunter Dickinson in this? Like, he's got to be... Dude, I can't believe he didn't get it last year. I cannot believe that he didn't get it last year. Look at my boy Doug McDermott, though. Holy shit. Max was tough. There's my boy Dead Pred.
Yo, brother.
Dick's not even on here. Oh, yeah. What's up, my guy?
Sorry, I was running late. Just got off a call. I appreciate you holding it down.
All good. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pass this over to Dead Prez. If you're not following Dead Prez, check him out. He's probably going to have a trial under this too, or a discount code or something.
Yes,
Mine's
sir.
under there. If you're not following me yet, go ahead and follow me, turn on the notifications. I'll post another free play later today, that Durant square I liked. I couldn't find a pair for. And yeah, have a good stream, my guy.
All right, I'll talk to you, brother. Good job.
All right, see ya.
All right, what's going on, everyone? Matt McKeown from Dead Press Picks, jumping on the DubClub live stream here to give you guys some winners. As Zeke mentioned, I am doing a free trial that's going to actually run till Super Bowl Sunday, which will be under here. As always, today we'll dive into some bets, but going to share some screens with you guys, some FanDuel, DraftKings as well. Also, big news this week for me, guys. Joined Action Network. I'll be doing all my free content with Action, so I'm going to share some of that stuff with you today, some of the tools and some of the winners that I have cooked up there, as well as just the normal parlay. So if you're here, say what's up. Going to be doing a lot of Super Bowl coverage. I know today we have a lot of college basketball, NBA, but mainly want to focus on the Super Bowl here with the big game on Sunday. So we'll dive into that. I will be sharing my screen for most of this, so just give me 1 second here to get this up, and then we'll be rocking and rolling. Under this video tweet that I also put out, I'll also attach my trial, and I'm also going to attach my Action link, guys, so you guys could follow me there. Like I said, the free plays, they'll still be on Twitter. That will always stay the same, but you're going to get everything in the app that is free, including those exclusive free plays, and then the VIP will remain the same for anyone who wants to hop in and get all bets. So let's get to it. I want to show you guys first how it'll work with the Action app free bets. Here we are. All right, so here's my Action app. So I think you guys can see this now. Looks like you can. Not a hot start, boys and girls. Last couple days, scuffled a little bit. Yes, 25 and 30. A lot of bets were put in over the last 48 hours or so. Big time college basketball slates that we were diving into. A lot of live bets. You guys know we do a lot of unit lockups for anybody who's followed me as well. So do a lot of those day to day. Put like 0.1 units. So don't look at a record as much, but. Yeah, minus 4.1, or I'm sorry, minus about 5 units over the last couple of days. So, looking to get that back with a lot on this slate tonight. Something I do want to look at though for this Iowa State Kansas game, because there's a lot of college basketball, but there's not a lot of good college basketball in terms of like marquee games. But as you guys could see, a lot of the bets coming in here, Kansas and Iowa State. This is going to be the most bet on game of the night, undoubtedly. So this will be the headliner for tonight. I have an article right now up on actionnetwork.com that you guys could check out. I did a same game parlay for this game, but this line has continued to move in the direction of Kansas. So just something to note there, and we could see looking at where the public is at, and a lot of the bets here today are coming in on the Jayhawks, but this line did open at 2 and now it's up to 3. So just something to keep an eye on. A lot of places where Kansas is the hot bet of the day. As far as NBA goes, briefly want to look at some NBA bets, and we'll also build out a lotto ticket here on FanDuel as always. So one of my bets that I have for tonight in the NBA, this line might have moved with the Spurs, but I believe now it's down to 3. So yeah, call this at 5. Memphis on a back-to-back. Memphis took some of our money last night, guys, in that game against Milwaukee. I thought the Bucks were going to get it done. They led by 10 for the majority of that third quarter. Fourth quarter was tight. Memphis pulled ahead. I think they ended up outscoring them by almost 20 points in the fourth. But something to note is the injuries that you're going to come in with this game. This is something else that you can get within the Action app that I want to point out, especially in the NBA, guys. Check out as many injuries as you can because these happen often. And also, guys, as we know with the NBA, they just sit out. So as you can see with Desmond Bane and Brandon Clark, I believe Bane was officially ruled out, as you could see, with the ankle. John Morant, I don't think he'll go. Brandon Clark also questionable. You got Smart that will not play. So this is going to be a pretty banged up Grizzlies roster tonight, and they're playing on a back-to-back. If you look at the Spurs and the injuries that they have, obviously, they did not have Wemby in that game against Miami, which was a thriller, where we were on the Heat. That was one of the good bets on Saturday. The Heat ended up coming back in that game, and Bam Adebayo hit the game winner for them to win that. So definitely check out all of the injury reports here, guys. Make sure you're staying on top of it. Wemby is questionable tonight with that illness. Outside of that, though, not a lot. And obviously, reinforcements coming in San Antonio with De'Aaron Fox. So exciting times right now for a Spurs fan. It's fun. I think the NBA is a little bit better when the Spurs are at the top of it, and I think they're headed that way. They obviously have some work to do in that direction and in that aspect, but they are coming up. This is a preferred destination now, which is fun to hear, and this is a team that I think the future is bright for. But yeah, the move with De'Aaron Fox, I liked it a lot. I'm a big De'Aaron Fox fan. Anyone who's followed me has known that. I feel like he's one of the more underrated players, one of the more clutch players in the NBA. So a lot of movement. Obviously, the Luka trade, we've talked about that a lot over the last couple of days on my account. So don't want to waste too much time on NBA trades with the limited time that we do have. But it's going to be a fun next couple of days. So that's another bet that I'm looking at for tonight. Another one I want to point out, I obviously already talked about that Kansas game. I know NHL, not the most popular sport this time of the year, but the Preds tonight, look at that record, 18, 26, and 7 at home. They are a favorite. This line now up to minus 135. And I'm going to ride with Nashville. You can see some people even got this at 118. So shop around. Another thing that you can do that's cool in the app, obviously comparing the lines, ESPN bet, if you have that here. Where I'm at in New Jersey at minus 125 is where I got this line with Nashville tonight. But this is a team who's better than that record indicates. Ottawa's been really strong this year. They've overperformed in a lot of ways. I think they struggle here on the road tonight. The only game on the NHL slate. So we will cook up a couple parlays now through FanDuel, but I just wanted to point this out. Again, if you're here, if you guys have the Action app, give me a follow. Just joined 2 days ago. Appreciate already having over 700 people that hopped on that follow. You can get these bets. You can actually bet them right through the app. So if you follow me, you get my notification. You can just hook your sportsbook up and one click away there with putting this thing in. So make sure you follow me. Same as my other socials right here on Twitter, DebPricePicks, for these daily bets. And there will be a couple more added to this tonight, as well as some of the parlays that we'll build out. Some futures, always could add the futures. And definitely make sure you check it out. Just the best app by far in the industry. So I want you guys to check that out. Make sure you're taking advantage of this daily. All right, let's build a lotto. And now I'm going to share my FanDuel account with you guys. And we will build a lotto for tonight. The last one we did, well, we cashed the one we did 2 streams ago. But then our last one ended up losing by 1 leg a couple nights ago. And again, I will link this under the video. So we can lock this in. All right. If anyone tailed me and RB actually did a collab on Saturday night for that Knicks game, where we needed Karl Anthony Towns to score 25 points to close out a 24-1 parlay, and Cat came up short. So we're not going to quite go with him for 25 tonight. However, 20 points from Cat. I think he's in a good spot here. He's playing against Şengün, who's been a little bit banged up as of late. And Cat, if you look at his numbers here, 14 points and 11 points over his last 2 games. Volume's been there. He's played north of 30 minutes in both of those games. He's taken 12 or more attempts in both of those games. He just hasn't shot the ball extremely well. And that 3-point ball hasn't really fallen for him. He's just hit 3 threes total over his last 5 games. He's one of the best big men shooters in the game. So I think Cat's in a strong matchup tonight. After a couple bad games, good buy low spot on the big man for the Knicks. So give me Cat there to kick off this parlay at 20-plus points. Another guy I'm targeting tonight in this game, Jalen Green. Fred VanVleet not expected to go for the Rockets. That's going to open up even more opportunities for Green. And in terms of improvements, I think Jalen Green's been up there with anyone in basketball this season. If you look at his numbers compared to a year ago, 19.6 points per game. He had a little bit of a fall off where in 2023 he averaged north of 22 points. Some people were worried. He's responded really well this year with 21.5 points per game. And if you look at what he did in the month of January specifically, he was one of the best scorers in the NBA. Green averaged 25.7 points per game, really with the exception of a bit of a sluggish month in November where he averaged 16.6. He's had the best scoring year of his career. So those numbers are going to continue to go up. I think Green's in a great matchup tonight here against New York without VanVleet. Going to get, again, more attempts in this game. And he's a guy who's logging a lot of minutes, playing about 34 minutes per game. This game's going to be close enough where we shouldn't have to worry about the blowouts. I know it's the NBA, but we shouldn't have to worry about a lot of blowouts. So I think Green puts up a solid game tonight. And in 3 consecutive games, he's hit 25 or more points. So he's been hot against that number. The 3 ball is going to be there. Guys, over his last 3 games, Jalen Green has attempted 33. He's averaging 10 3-point attempts per game over his last 3. Going to see the volume again from Green tonight. So that'll take us to our third leg of this parlay. And we're going to look Sacramento. We just talked about the trades there with De'Aaron Fox. Someone who I think has the ability to step up and have a huge game tonight is Malik Monk. So this is going to get this thing a little bit more juicy there at plus 704. But Monk's a guy that's going to step in tonight. He's going to see more minutes. He already has started a lot of games this year for Sacramento. Remember, originally Kevin Huerter was the starter. Monk kind of took over. Last year, he played more in that 6-man role. He's averaging a career-high 32 minutes per game this season. Last season, he only averaged 26 minutes per game. So big-time increase there in minutes, and for good reason. He's averaged 18 points per game this year. There's going to be shots that open up. Monk is not shy to shoot the basketball. In his last 4 games, he's taken 15 attempts or more. He's averaging about 17 per game there. So we're going to see a lot of volume from him tonight, a guy who can really get going. In January, Monk averaged 22.5 points per game, one of the best months of his career. Expanded role tonight. Malik Monk's in a big-time spot. Don't be surprised if he puts up 25 or 30 in this position. So love Malik Monk in this game. Thunder Bucks, this one's, worrying some people about the blowout factor. So I'm going to stay off of that one. I was trying to see if there was any other Bucks props that I could hop on, but I think that one's got reasons, to be a little bit concerned. Now here's Ja Morant. We're still getting props for him. I don't think Morant's going to play. But if Morant does play, I am going to hop on him at 20 plus. So I think if he plays, he's going to be good enough to go. I don't think he's going to go out there and, give some, poor effort. So Ja Morant here, banged up a lot this season, but there are multiple key players out tonight for Memphis. So if he does play, he'll see an expanded role. Morant's really struggled against this number. Last time he scored 20 points or more, guys, January 15th against the Spurs, where he scored 21. So big time struggles from Morant lately. Also, injuries have to do with that a bit. He's kind of been in and out of the lineup. We know that. That's been part of his issue this season. So we're gonna hope that Morant, if he does play tonight, scores points but doesn't score too many, and that we still have the ability to cash our parlay there, or I'm sorry, our straight bet with the Spurs. So love the spot for Morant tonight. Think if he goes, he'll deliver a big time performance. So John Morant there at 20 plus points in this matchup. Another matchup that I want to call out tonight. How about the Suns and the Blazers? This is a sneaky game. That spread's only 5, and if you look at who's playing for Phoenix, they are expected to have most of their guys in this position. Most notably, they have Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. Now, if we look at Kevin Durant's numbers, and this is the guy we're going to target in this game for a big-time performance tonight, we're going to take Durant at 30+, but he broke off his streak of 20 points or more when against the Warriors there on the 31st, where he scored 19. His last game out against the Blazers, 22 points, but he had 18 attempts. Don't really have to explain to you guys why we like Kevin Durant here to have a big-time performance tonight. I think it's that bounce-back kind of game. And at plus 160, him or Booker's going for 30. Just got to hope it's KD. So there it is. This is where the parlay's getting juicy. But I do want to add one last leg, and this is a leg I am very confident. Look at this. They already have the spread for the Mavs and Lakers for the 25th, that rematch there between Luka and AD. Exciting game there. But Paolo Banchero, I think this is a very, I don't want to say a layup of a play, but 20+ from Paolo tonight. That's going to take us to where we need to get. And at 48-1 odds. Love Banchero, they're here to have a big game. He struggled badly in his last game. 9 points, 4 for 19 from the floor. The last time he had a game like this, he went 1 for 14 on January 23rd against the Blazers. He came back against the Pistons and dropped 32. So I think he is a big-time performance tonight. I actually like Orlando in that game in general to bounce back at +3 against the Warriors. I think that's a really strong spot. Also on the money line, you could take that. But you see that if we add that, that's crazy. If you just add the Magic to win that game, then it gets really crazy. But yeah, there it is on the parlay. I will be betting 0.25 units, so I'll put $25 on this to win a little bit north there of $1,000. So that's going to be where we're looking at for the lotto. So just wanted to build that out for you guys, and I will add this slip under the tweet that I tweeted, and also that DubClub has up. So make sure you guys check that out and get involved. So, you guys can lock that in. I'm seeing a lot of Kansas bets right now on my timeline. Wonder where the people are going with this one. Let's tweet this one out. We'll talk through this game a little bit. But I do want to get to some Super Bowl bets. I want to share this, and I'm going to go back to my Action app so you guys can see this. Share broadcast. Early Super Bowl bets. All right, and when people start getting in here, I would love to hear all right. All right, there we go. Want to dive into some NFL bets. So let's first just look through these games. Football. All right. You guys know where I'm going from the spread standpoint. So we're not even going to talk about who's going to win or lose the game. What we do want to talk about is some props. Guys, if you're here, I appreciate all the comments. Here. If you guys are here, let me know who's going to win. Chiefs, Eagles. Want to definitely check that out. Sharp Bros, what's going on, bro? Dave, what's up, bro? Got some other people in here as well. Mike, what's going on? Appreciate everybody who's hopping in. Sorry, the comments, sometimes I can see them and I can't, but let me know. No bias. I mean, if you're an Eagles fan, I want to hear more Eagles bets than I want to hear Chiefs bets. But let me know who you guys are liking and some prop bets that we're looking at for this weekend, because we're getting there. It's Super Bowl week. Every day I'm watching Eagles hype videos, getting ready for the game, rewatching that old Super Bowl, which I did not turn on until this week. I've never rewatched that game just because it hurt me that much. But appreciate you, Dave. Thank you, man. Yeah, new Gap. Yeah, fire it up. Make sure you check out the app if you need it. Let me know. Sharp Rose, appreciate you, man. Hope you're doing well, my guy. Hope everything's going well. So yeah, let's look at it. All right. I put out a couple early lottos that I'm liking. One guy that's scoring in this game. David, we could talk about some hockey if you want. That's the first hockey request I think I've ever gotten on a live stream. Can we talk about some hockey? I love it. I'll talk any sport you want, but quickly we'll talk some Super Bowl because I got about 10, 15 minutes left here on the live stream. One guy I feel extremely confident is going to score in this game is Travis Kelce. Okay, the Chiefs are going to score points. I can admit that to myself. But with that said, I think Kelce has a lot of value just in general here. We know in the playoffs, this is when he steps up most. Kind of had a quiet season, but scored a touchdown there in that first game against the Texans. He wasn't great against the Bills, 2 for 19. I think he has a big-time bounce-back game. And listen, if Philly does have one area where they could struggle, it would be to lock down tight end. Obviously, they've had some injuries there with the linebacker position to Kobe Dean, but I do think Kelsey's in a good spot to score. Here's another guy that's being way undervalued, and I don't know why. Okay, Devontae Smith, about as undervalued as I can remember a prop being. Not only here with this line, but just in this game in general. Like I feel like his props, everything that there's a lot of value here on finding Smith props. And listen, in the postseason, he's been somewhat quiet. His best game was actually that game against the Packers. He has 12 catches in the playoffs. A little bit north of 100 yards. No crazy game yet. With that said, former Heisman Trophy winner, one of the more underrated players in general in the NFL because he's behind A.J. Brown, because the Phillies known for their run game with Saquon and Jalen. But Devontae Smith to score a touchdown in this game, incredible value. So those are two guys. And if you want, I'm not putting this in this parlay, but one guy I do think has so much value in this game to score a touchdown as well as Dallas Goedert at plus 330. Now, here's why with Goddard. If you look, you think, okay, they have AJ, they have Smith, they have Saquon. Who leads this team in receiving in the playoffs? It's Dallas Goedert. 47 receiving yards, 56, 85. He scored a touchdown against the Packers earlier in the postseason. Now, during the regular season, it wasn't great. He only had 2 touchdowns. So it was actually a down year for Goddard career-wise. It was a career low since his rookie year in yards, and it was a career low period in touchdowns. He had more touchdowns in 2018 as a rookie than he did this year. The role for him didn't go down, though, by any means. He still remains Philly's top target, and he's been a big-time target of Jalen Hurts, a guy he's very, very comfortable with in this game. David saying Eagles plus 6, Barkley, Jalen, TD, over 43, Phillies over 23.5 points, plus 360, plus 720 with 100% DK boost. I love it. It's a lot of Eagles props, Dave. That's why I think I like it the most. Now, remind me, Dave, are you a Eagles fan? I know we've talked a lot through DMs over our years, but I don't know if you're a Philly guy like myself or rooting for the Eagles. Also, nationally, I know neither of these teams are very likable. I'm from Philly, and I understand, that the Philly hate that the fan base gets, but I still feel like if you don't have a side in this game, let's be honest, you're going to root for who you bet on. Respect. But if you didn't bet for some crazy reason and you're just watching the game, I do think more people would be cheering for Philadelphia, but I don't know. Not an Eagles fan. All right, David, it's all right. You sounded like one with that comment though. You got me excited with the props. Just really like this team. Me too, man. I'm hoping they do it. This is our year. Another prop, though, I do think Jalen's going to have to throw the ball to win. Okay, Kansas City defensively, we know what they like to do. They like to speed quarterbacks up. They love the blitz. Got my guy Bobby saying, go Birds, Bobby, let's do it. I know he's an Eagles fan. But going back to that, KC, we know Spags, one of the best coordinators, I would argue in NFL history. He's, been outstanding this season, continues to produce for this Kansas City team. But I do think Jalen's going to have to throw the ball really well for them to win this game. I just think KC's going to sell out against the run. And if you look statistically, Kansas City's not great against the run. I mean, they're good. They rank 9th in the NFL. But in their last 3 games, this is what I do find interesting. In their last 3 games, they have struggled. 151.3 rush yards allowed per game. But 2 of them were in the playoffs. Now, some of that is skewed a little bit because that last week where, they were sitting guys. But I still think, overall, they're going to load the box. They're going to try to limit Saquon in this game as much as they can. Obviously, that's a tall task. But I do think Jalen's going to have a lot of opportunities, and I think it's going to lead to a lot of one-on-ones. And with these one-on-one opportunities, I think that's where we're going to see Devontae, AJ, some of these other guys have value. So one that I want to target here, receiving props, again, Devontae Smith. I think he has a big-time game, but we're going to alt-line Smith for an 80-plus receiving game. This is where the parlay could start getting a little bit juicy. Again, he's being undervalued here. Okay, that's the bottom line. Devontae Smith, and he's also a big play receiver. Not that AJ isn't, but Smith, in terms of that deep ball, he's the guy who could do this. Now, look at his numbers this year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games where Smith went 80 yards or more. He also had multiple games. He had one game at 79, one at 76, one at 64. So he's flirted with this line a lot. Now, again, his last 3 games combined, he's barely squeaked over 100 yards. But there are 2 games kind of, in between there or prior to that, where he had 120 against Dallas. He had 109 against Pittsburgh. Big playability guy, a guy Jalen trusts, and a guy who's going to have a lot of one-on-one chances. Again, they're going to force Philly to beat them with the passing game. It's going to bode well for receiver props in this game. So love the props here on Smith. Love the props on Jalen as well. Dave saying he actually thinks Eagles are going to win. Eagles are the better team, Bobby saying. Got a Juju, 13.5 yards. Yeah, KC is a tough team to bet on receivers. They really are. Because I think Hollywood Brown is the guy that I'm looking at in this game as my favorite prop in that one. And by the way, I like that Juju. And also, you got a good line. Looking now on FanDuel, and you could see 16.5 on Juju. But, yeah, I think it's got a notification. Looks like Kellen Moore. Yeah, he'll definitely. He's going to be leaving us after the Super Bowl. But going back to the point about KC, they have tough guys to target. Look at DeAndre Hopkins' line, guys. It's 11.5. That's one catch from DeAndre Hopkins. But the volume hasn't really been there for Hopkins lately. So since Hollywood Brown has returned, he's been kind of phased out of that offense a little bit. So it's a tough spot for any receiver. But there are some lines where, yeah, you're going to cash that in one play. Hopkins only played 18% of snaps last week. That was a season low. Since joining KC, he played most of the games he was playing north of 50. A couple games where he was at 45, 47. Even in that first round game against Houston, he played in 31%. But Hollywood Brown's the guy that I think the volume has just been there, 67, 65%. Obviously, Xavier Worthy's going to be the guy on the field. But to your point, David, with Juju, look at his volume. He played in 58% of the snaps last week. Hopkins played in 18. So right now, yeah, Hopkins has been phased out a little bit of this offense. They're opening it up more. Obviously, Xavier Worthy's going to be on the field a ton. But after that, it's probably going to be Hollywood Brown and Juju. So Hopkins kind of acting as the 4th receiver. Pair that with the fact that you have Kelsey on the field. He's basically the 5th option. I'm still going to take a swing at his line at 11.5. I mean, I just think that's ridiculous. That could be one slant route, and he could catch that prop, even if he only plays 30% of the snaps, 20% of the snaps. So I think DeAndre Hopkins has a lot of value. Showtime Tyree, what's going on, bro? Saying, I love D-Hop over 1.5 receptions. I like it, too. I think D-Hop props are interesting. And listen, they've been all over with how they've used these receivers. One guy goes down. Something happens, there's different ways for Hopkins to get more volume here. And I mean, you're talking about a future Hall of Fame receiver. I understand he's on the back end of his career. With that said, I think he has a lot of value in this one. So we'll just throw him in on this parlay, just his normal spread. His normal receiving there at 11.5. If you want to take his receptions as well, more than happy to. Just a cool market. I'm not, obviously this, you could put this in the parlay and then it would get really crazy. But Devontae Smith, again, most receiving yards in the game. Look at this prop at 550. Shop around with this prop. Plus 550 for Devontae Smith to be the leading receiver in this game. I think it has substantial value at that price. And another guy that could have value is Marquise Hollywood Brown because of his deep playability. He catches a ball and he goes 80 yards with it, and he has a couple more catches in the game and ends the game with 115, 120 yards. 2 guys that I would look at in this game. I just don't think there's a lot of value on A.J. Brown. I was on him big in the game against Washington. He stepped up. He almost went for 100 yards. Great game. I don't think his props are nearly as valuable in this game. I don't think Kelsey, because everybody's going to bet on Kelsey. I think Xavier Worthy, is the most likely guy to do it from a receiver standpoint, but from a value standpoint, Marquise Brown. Showtime Tyree saying, I think he will get more looks due to the coverage, taking away Worthy and Brown. Reed's going to have plays for him. Yeah, good point. Listen, Andy Reid always has these weird plays. I mean, a lot of years it's Mecole Hardman, right, with those like out of nowhere kind of plays. So I agree. He's going to have something dialed up. Andy Reid, in terms of offensive minds, he's the best coach I've ever seen. So, yeah, this is a guy that can definitely get it done. And in terms of getting creative and getting guys involved, zero doubt. I agree with that for sure. Also have questions about Isaiah Pacheco props on a comment there from Jerry. Yeah, I think Pacheco, I was talking a lot about this last week. Like, his rushing yards over 20 and a half. Which reminds me a lot of the DeAndre Hopkins line, where, like, if you looked at this in the regular season, that's ridiculous because, again, one run, he can get this. They've clearly made Kareem Hunt the top back for the rest of this season. Now, in the future, who knows? This is what's so weird with football, though. Like, last year, Pacheco was a top-tier running back. He looked like he was going to be the guy, top 5, top 7 running back, I think is fair, in football, fantasy football leagues, just flying off the boards early. And then you fast forward to this year, and again, a lot of this has to do with the fact that he was injured. I don't think it's a poor play, but he ran for 935 last season, 830 as a rookie. This year in 7 games, 310. But it's more the volume that I've been really shocked by since he's come back. Now he rushed back a little bit, but he's played since November 29th, right? So that was a long time ago. I mean, November 29th was months ago now. So yeah, I'm surprised by the lack of volume that we've seen with Pacheco. And I do think in this game, like, there's a chance this is the game where he starts kind of breaking out a little bit and they give him, more attempts. It's the Super Bowl, right? I mean, if you were kind of saving him, to make sure he was at 100% or as close to it as he could be, this would be the game. So yeah, I think Pacheco has a ton of value there to answer that question at 20 and a half. Legitimately one run he rips off and this cashes. Like, he could break it. 4 attempts in the last game. I'm sorry, 5 attempts in the last game, 5 attempts against Houston. Game script should be, I would say, be supportive of this play, depending on the timing of it. But yeah, I want to see more out of Pacheco. I mean, since he's returned, like, he did have 14 attempts against the Chargers and 13 against the Browns, but those were the only 2 games where he had north of 10 attempts. And, like, this is a guy last season, if you look at his 2023 stats, in terms of carries and like what he had 205 attempts during the regular season. Like, he was consistently getting 15 plus attempts per game. He had games where he would bleed into the 20 attempts per game. Like, this was the guy last year. So yeah, Pacheco props are definitely interesting in this game. Would definitely lean into that at 20 and a half. So if you want to do this, kind of, we built this like on the stream, I feel like, together, that you're going to get some value for 0.25 on it. Listen, you're going to walk away with 1.6. So possibilities are there. All right, before I close out, I want to quickly go back to my Action Network app and show you guys that I will be adding some Super Bowl bets to this as well. But yeah, want to remind everyone to give it a follow here. You're going to do this, get the QR code. You're going to get all free bets there. You guys can check it out. Also, I would heavily advise checking out the Action Pro. Outstanding content there. I've been a user of it in the past, and it's good stuff. So again, I can see some people from the stream. We started the stream at about 7:20, so appreciate the 6 people. I'll say it was from the stream that hopped on and followed there. Again, listen, buy the dip. All right, last 7 days, not the best. All right, we're down 4.91 units here to over the last 2 days since joining. Won that first day, but have not since. And, tonight, again, not a ton of plays yet, but there's going to be plays that get added to this. So make sure you're following. You guys, if you just have your notifications on for the app, it's going to ding just like, I'm texting you the plays. So make sure you guys follow it. I know a ton of people use it. If you don't use it, if you've never used the Action app, I would strongly advise it. Even if you don't, want just my picks, there are so many extremely talented people on the app that are, giving out plays through the website, through articles, and also just on the app. A ton of people, really sharp minds, some of the best in the industry. So make sure you guys check it out. I know a lot of people have it because it's the best app, but if you don't, let me know and I can hook you guys up with that. So make sure you check that out. And again, follow me there at DebPrezPicks. Also want to give a shout out with everything with DubClub. Had a great 2024. We had a great start to the 2025 season in terms of subscriptions. Unfortunately, the results did not follow. I'm always very transparent with this, guys. Do not win every month. 2025 got off to a losing month. Now, I will say, buy that dip, because in 2024, we only lost 2 months in the entire year. This is the time to jump in, would be now, into that new month. So make sure you guys check out the free trial that is running till the Super Bowl, till Super Bowl Sunday. February is going to be a blast. We obviously have the Super Bowl this week. We're going to talk about the Super Bowl every single day through my content, but I also do want to remind everyone to get in for all of those bets. But beside that, this is the time where, you can sit down and watch a college basketball game now, sweat it out all game, because March Madness is just 1 month away. We are quickly approaching the month of March as well. So make sure to check that out. The free trial will be under the original tweet to join. If you guys can't find it for any weird reason, make sure to DM me and take advantage. Another thing I want to remind people, take advantage right now of these sportsbook promos, because there's a lot for the Super Bowl. Get on those boosts, get on the cash, whatever you guys have to do, get on everything you can and take advantage of this. So, yeah, we'll close it out there, guys. Don't want to hold everybody too long. Made it a little bit over that 3:30 time. Typically, we'll roll these around this time. So, yeah, had a great time with you guys on the live stream. I really appreciate the interaction. All the comments that you guys give, super, 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 super helpful, in terms of just the content. So I appreciate everybody for hopping on and for being a part of this. Zeke did a great job opening this up. Make sure you guys are following him. Prop Geek Zeke, who opened this one up to start, did an outstanding job. Always love his bets. A lot of prize picks, a lot different than what I do, but love listening to him and the rest of the team. And the DubClub, they're going to be rolling these out, I believe, Monday through Friday. So make sure you guys keep checking them out as well. Different content creators coming on every week and guests on these streams and everything. So many talented people in the industry. Make sure to check them out. Continue to show them love. Hope everybody has an outstanding week, and I'll see you guys soon. Appreciate everyone. Take care.